Okay. All right. Okay. Good morning. Welcome to our talk on Reiki and using essential oils during your Reiki practice. My name is Pam. Just a little bit about me. I am active duty military. I obviously in the DC area. I started learning about Reiki in May of last year. So I do have my Reiki 1 and Reiki 2 level certification completed. And I am in the process of working on my Reiki Master certification. I'm taking classes through a local wellness center down in Del Rey. And learning about Reiki has been absolutely amazing. So for those that don't know what Reiki is, it was a practice that was created in Japan around the late 1900s by Dr. Usui. He was a Buddhist monk. But Rei in Japanese means life, and Ki means energy. So it's life energy, a universal life energy. And everything is composed of energy. You can't deny that. That's science. Everything emits a certain vibration. Everything is connected. So when you learn about Reiki, when you start practicing Reiki, you really start to kind of feel your own energy that you're emitting. So what I'll do today is I'll talk a little bit about some of the oils that I use for my personal practice. And I'll walk you through doing like a Reiki self-care session. Basically what it is just kind of like checking in with your physical body, your physical and emotional body, because we know that a lot of ailments that we suffer from today are rooted in stress. Stress is the number one cause for a lot of physical ailments that we can suffer from today. When we know we're stressed, we know our immune system is lowered. We know we are more prone to getting sick. So Reiki is a method of just kind of checking in with yourself and kind of calming yourself down. It's a good way to relax. So some people do yoga to relax. Some people read a book. I'll sit down and I'll break out my oils and I'll do a little check-in, a little Reiki check-in. So one oil that I use, especially when I'm talking, is I break out my lavender. Lavender is really good for kind of opening up the throat chakra. It's considered the oil of communication. So before I jumped on today, I took my lavender, and always when you do essential oils, always use a carrier. There are some oils that you can use what we like neat, which means not with a carrier oil. But if you use a carrier oil, like I'm using jojoba oil, we also use fractionated coconut oil. You can use olive oil. You can use oils in your kitchen cabinet, anything you have on hand. But what that oil will do, the carrier oil, it will hold the essential oil on your skin longer. So you actually get a better, like a more sustained benefit from it. So I took my jojoba oil and my lavender, and I'm going to do it again just because I love lavender. And I rub it on my throat chakra. And then I'll take it and I'll rub it on the back of my neck. And that just really kind of calms me down. And sometimes I'll put it on my abdomen and over my heart. Lavender really, really kind of, when you're nervous or when you're anxious, it really just tones you down. It just smells absolutely amazing. So I rub it on my mala beads so I can continue to get the good smells. Before I do my Reiki practice as well, I like to clear my space. And what I usually do is I will get my oils diffusing. I light incense and I smudge. So I smudge with Palo Santo. Palo Santo, we unfortunately don't have the oil for Palo Santo, but Palo Santo is harvested in Peru and I believe parts of Bolivia, but it's really good for like sometimes when the air is really stagnant, when things aren't moving, when you feel like just a heavy energy. If you smudge Palo Santo, you just light the tip, you don't keep it on fire, you just let it and you blow it out and you just kind of let it burn itself out and you use the smoke to kind of clear your space. You can also use white sage. I also have another smudge. I believe that these are sticks of cedar wood. There's all sorts of different smudges, things that you can smudge with. I gravitate towards Palo Santo. That's, in my opinion, one of the best heavy hitters. And just a little tidbit, because I like to throw little bits of information that I've discovered out whenever I teach. If you are looking to get white sage, which is people are doing this more and more. If you purchase sage, go through a small independent provider. Try not to buy your stuff on Amazon because what's happening is when something gains popularity, you get these companies that go and they're like, oh, we can make money off of this. So they harvest it and, you know, they end up killing the smaller businesses and they're not harvesting it in a sustainable manner. So we're actually having a problem with white sage being over harvested right now. So if you're gonna get into this stuff and you're gonna invest in stuff like this, really look for a smaller provider. You can find some decent providers on Etsy, independent businesses. And usually the people that are harvesting this have ties to the Native American community, which is where this tradition comes from. Also, the Palo Santo, there are a few providers in Peru that I go directly to acquire this. Just be cautious. That's one reason why I love doTERRA is because we are very, very aware of the impact that we have on the communities that we source our oils from. We are very ethical. And for me, that's extremely important. So like I said, just be cautious where you get your stuff from and just be mindful. Reiki is about being in touch with everything. So, all right. And if you guys are ready, I'm going to walk you through how to do a Reiki self-care session. So what I want you all to do is sit back, be comfortable. If you're lying down, you can even lie down. And I want you to take your hands and just kind of rub them together like this. And while you're doing that, I want you to breathe in with intention. Breathe in and really feel your lungs fill up. And I want you to breathe in. I want you to feel your breath go all the way down to your feet. Like draw it in. Draw it in again. And blow it out slowly. One more time, draw it in. And fill your lungs. Feel the energy that you're breathing in. Feel the life energy you're breathing in. Just fill every single cell in your body. And then breathe it out. And I want you to really focus on feeling yourself, feel your body. Most times we don't pay attention to what's actually happening in our body. So take your hands, put them on the top of your head, one hand over the other like this. I want you to breathe in, breathe out. Take a few minutes just to sit there and check in with yourself. Just be still. Now take your hands, move them over your eyes. And you don't have to touch your face if you don't want to. You can hold your hands a little out from your face, but just Really feel where your hands are, like that part of your body. Do you feel anything? Is there any discomfort? Does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? Like I said, this is a Reiki self-care. This is how you check in with yourself. This is how you kind of start paying attention to your body. And take your hands and put them over your ears. And don't forget to breathe. A lot of times, including myself, we all forget to breathe. Breath should be intentional. Now take your hands and put them on the back of your head. One hand over the other. And breathe. Really connect. Really let yourself feel your body. And take your hands and hold them over your throat. Do you feel a blockage? Does it feel light? Now take your hands and touch your shoulders. Just hug yourself. And breathe. Now take your hands and hold them over your heart, like this. This has been a rough year on a lot of people, so make sure you pay attention to this area. We've all been pretty stressed out, and we need to take care of our hearts. Don't forget that. So really start to feel your heart. So take your hands and put them right below your rib cage. That's where your solar plexus is. And just feel that part of your body. Is there anything going on? Does it feel light? Does it feel heavy? The more you do this, the more you'll really start to sense if there is something going on. So this is kind of a preventative Reiki maintenance. And breathe. And next, I want you to take your hands and put them over your stomach and check in. Stress can cause a lot of discomfort in this area, so always check in here. Are you eating healthy? Are you really taking care of yourself? Just start paying attention. Now take your hands, and I want you to put them a little bit lower on the very bottom of your abdomen, near your root chakra. And breathe. And then I want you to take your hands and I want you to put them on your upper back. Kind of where, like, if you've got back pain and you're doing that, oh my goodness, right there, that spot. And breathe. Check in with yourself. Do you feel anything? Does it feel stagnant? Is it flowing? Is it light? Is it heavy? Do you feel any pain? And take your hands and move them to the lower back, right below that area, right at the base of your spine. Is there extra pressure? I know with a lot of us working from home, constantly sitting at a desk online, not looking at a screen all day, this can have some pretty bad effects on your back. So make sure you're checking in there. And next, I want you to put your hands on your thighs. When I do this, because I walk a lot, I'm on my feet for my job, I like to take my hands and rub them down my thighs just to kind of cover that whole area and really feel like it'll help, number one, loosen my muscles. Also, it's a good way to really check in to see if there's anything going on in that area. You don't have to do that. That's just what I do. And breathe. And next, I want you to take your hands, put them over your knees. This is another area where I personally, like I said, and you don't have to do this, I take my hands and I rub them around on my knees. Just because like I said, I walk a lot, so I got to check in on this area a lot. And breathe. Do you feel any discomfort? Is everything feeling okay? And next, I want you to take your hands and I want you to hold them over your feet. You can even grab onto your feet. It's just however you feel comfortable. So feel your feet. Come down here. Feel your feet. And just breathe. All right. Go ahead and start coming back. Take a couple deep breaths in. Stretch it out a little bit. So that is a Reiki self-care. That's a check-in. I recommend doing that once a day. It's just a good way, number one, to calm yourself down and make yourself stop. Far too many times, and I say this because I'm guilty of this. I push and I push and I push and I don't pay attention to what's going on with my body. I don't pay attention to something until it breaks. So by learning Reiki, I've learned how to really start paying attention to what's going on with Pam. So I really recommend that you just take the time once a day to just stop, sit down, be quiet, and check in with yourself. It's a great way to just make sure you're staying on top of, is there something to do? How does my head feel? How are my eyes feeling? how's my heart? Like, how's my digestive system? So it's checking in with the physical body. So like I said, I recommend doing this once a week or once a day. Even if you just start doing it once a week to start kind of getting in the habit of it. If you join our Facebook group, I'll start posting information on how to do Reiki for yourself, because Reiki is not a crazy woo-woo, like only certain people can do it. Reiki, anybody can do Reiki. Anybody, absolutely, anybody can do Reiki. It just depends on if you really want to learn Reiki, you have to practice it. You have to commit to doing it. But doing like a personal Reiki self-care check-in, that stuff is like the energy is in you. We're full of energy, and everything around us is full of the same energy. So it's all about just really kind of tapping into something that's already there. So really quick, another oil that I use for my personal Reiki is sandalwood. Sandalwood is what I use to kind of like really kind of just stop my mind, force myself to just kind of be here, because far too often we're not here, we're somewhere else mentally. So I use sandalwood to just be here, to connect with me, to feel me. I also use it to connect with individuals if I'm doing a session. So it stops the brain, stops the thinking, and just kind of lets you just chill out. It's very grounding. There's a couple others that I can recommend. Balance is a really good, this is our grounding blend. So if you have a hard time just stopping, like with sandalwood, sandalwood, in my opinion, is a heavy hitter. But balance is a really good option. If you don't like the smell of sandalwood, this is a really good option to just kind of stop yourself and just chill out for a minute and take the time to do your Reiki self check-in. What else do I have? Don't forget your lavender. Melaleuca is tea tree. That's a really good oil to use if you've got some like emotional stuff going on. If you feel like you're stressed out and you've got too much energy coming at you. Tea tree is a really good one to kind of like put the brakes on that stuff. Like just stop letting all the negative stuff in. So sometimes I'll take a couple drops of Melaleuca and actually put it on top of my head on my crown chakra. So anyways, if anyone has any questions, I hope you enjoyed this. I know it was really quick. When you do your Reiki self-care, you really should take time. I went through that really quick just to kind of give you a really like an example of what you can do with Reiki. So when you're doing it, really take the time, spend a couple minutes in each of those areas. When I do my check-in, Reiki check-in, I take about 30 to 45 minutes. Sometimes I'll take like a whole hour. Sometimes it's just good to just stop, check in, and take the time to really feel each part of that, each parts of those of your body. So, but if you have any questions, I'll be in the chat over on the MBC4 website. And I hope you have a great day, and I hope you have a wonderful Saturday. The sun is out. It's beautiful. It's bright. It's sunny. Get outside, breathe some fresh air, go for a walk, do something to really kind of enjoy this beautiful day. So, all right. Have a great one, guys. Bye. Oh. How do I stop recording? Stop.